As infants, we do very little thinking, and that's because we aren't really capable of doing so, right? But as we grow older and our brains become more and more complex, so does our thinking, and we begin to think about the past and the mistakes that we made, and hopefully we learn from those mistakes, but we also start looking towards the future and then planning for it so that we are completely prepared for it. At least that's the hope of what we do in terms of the past and the future, but in reality what we end up doing is ruminating a lot on our past mistakes and beating ourselves up for it, and then getting anxiety over the future and worrying about what might happen, or thinking about, oh, this is something I need to do, or this is something that I need to do. And this rumination on the past or anxiety about the future can lead to actual anxiety or depression because of all of the negative feelings that it brings up. And this is the purpose of meditation. As a society on a whole, we spend a lot more time worrying about the future and ruminating on the past than we do in the present moment. So meditation helps you live more in the present moment. In almost any form of meditation, there is some focus on being present, whether that be focusing on your breathing, a mantra, or just trying to clear your head. You are living a lot more present, but there needs to be a balance between the past, present, and future, because if you focus too much on one single time period, then it can lead to throwing your life for a loop. Because if you focus too much on the past, then you won't be able to enjoy the present or plan for the future. And if you focus too much on the present, while you are enjoying the moment a lot more, you aren't learning from your mistakes or doing what you need to get ready for the future. And then if you're constantly thinking about the future, then you are not able to learn from your mistakes or enjoy the present moment. So meditation will help to kind of regulate your focus on all three of those things. There needs to be a balance of learning from your mistakes, enjoying the present, and planning on the future. Through meditation, you bring your awareness to the present moment, whether that be through your mind, your body, or just one specific mantra. The one that I actually started out with was mindfulness meditation, and I started out being aware of my body. I feel like that's a good entry-level place to begin. And the thing that I struggle with the most is simply itching and scratching and being uncomfortable in my own skin, because I was not used to just sitting there and doing nothing and being in the present moment. But through the process of mindfulness, I got much more used to that, because I would start to pay attention to where I was itching or where I was uncomfortable, and I would start to question it. Why is this here? Why am I uncomfortable in this given situation? And the more that I questioned it and thought about why something was a certain way, the more I started to understand that there was no reason for the feeling at all, which would then lead to the feeling kind of fading away whenever I realized that there was no basis for it. I then started to transition to the mind and the different thoughts, feelings, and emotions that I was experiencing during meditation, which is not arguably much harder to do than simply letting go of your bodily sensations, because we constantly have one thing or another popping up, causing us to worry about one thing, or being like, oh, that's a good idea, let me go and do that later on in the future. So it's a lot harder to not get caught up in those thoughts and to simply let them be and not judge them or go along with them. And even though I have been meditating for 4 or 5 years now, that's still something that I struggle with to let go. But whenever you start to get better at bringing your awareness to the thoughts and questioning why they are there, and letting them fade away, then it will help you be more aware in general. So whenever you are out and about and then you suddenly get a craving for, I don't know, ice cream, you'll start to question, why do I have this craving in the first place? And then you'll soon realize that there is no basis for you actually wanting ice cream, and that it is actually just a bodily sensation because you're addicted to the sugar. You'll eventually then let it fade away and you'll resist the impulse to go and get ice cream. So through the self-awareness that you develop through meditation, you actually develop a stronger sense of self-control. But that's not all that meditation does. The second area that I believe that it helps out the most is with your focus, because whenever you are working or studying, you'll probably have a bunch of thoughts come up and they will end up distracting you and you'll go and do something else. But by becoming more aware through meditation, you'll be aware of those thoughts and then be aware of whenever they start to pull you away from whatever you're doing. So you will then be able to bring your focus back to the present moment and to the task that you are working on, so you'll be able to actually focus on that instead. And there are a bunch of other benefits of meditation. Those are the two main ones that I see. Developing self-awareness, which will help you get self-control and focus in your daily life. It will also help naturally get rid of that anxiety and depression that you may have developed from focusing too much on the past or the future. It can also help you live longer, improve your immune system, and improve your ability to learn new information and material. So meditation has a plethora of benefits. And the way that I generally go about meditation is actually just focusing on the breath. And you can simply do a mindfulness meditation where you are aware of your bodily sensations. You can do a body scan starting at the crown of your head and then slowly working down your body till you get to your feet. And then you can actually just keep going up and down for however long that you want to do that. And then you can bring the focus to your mind and your thoughts and just be aware of those. But what I'm doing right now is actually just breathing in for 3 seconds, holding it for 2, and then breathing out for 3 seconds, and then making sure that my awareness is on my breath. So it's on one single point, which will help me focus whenever I am out doing something else. But you can also do some sort of mantra like in transcendental meditation. But in the limited research that I'd done on transcendental meditation, whenever I'd gotten interested in it, you did need a yogi of some sort to assign the mantra to you. But I'm sure that it'll be fine if you can come up with one as well, because one of the things that I had done is simply focused on affirmations. I would say I am happy or I am healing and those sort of things to try and bring about positive changes in my life by rewiring my brain to more commonly think those positive things. But at the end of the day, whichever meditation you choose is really up to you. I would do some research into figuring out all the different options to see which one actually sounds the best to you, and then to kind of experiment to see which one you actually like as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please pound that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.